Nice Hyena here, and this is the story about how airport security called me out for being a furry, and then I got roasted on the internet twice for it. Yeah. So like many other furries, I enjoy going to conventions. Now in order to bring a fursuit to a convention, you pretty much have two choices. One, find a case durable enough to pack the head in, like a pelican case. Or number two, carry the head on. And some people have come up with very creative ways of carrying their fursuit heads on. So my preferred way of traveling with a fursuit head is carrying it on. And what this means is going through airport security and then going on the plane with your fursuit head and then storing it underneath the seat in front of you. Now I prefer this because I can keep eyes on my fursuit head all the time, so I have a green bag that I take on, and I've probably done this about 20 times. Now this is where the story begins. Last week I was traveling to Megaplex, which takes place in Orlando, Florida. Now I had a great time there, caught up with some close friends, and met some new folks, and I also did a little bit of vlogging. So for this Florida trip, I take a different airport than I usually take. It's a much smaller, much quieter airport, and I go through the security routine. Just take everything off, things like shoes and any electronics, that's all gonna go into these scanners. Now, sometimes when I go through airport security, my fursuit head does draw attention because it is an unusual item. It's this big, old foam head-looking thingy, and sometimes the TSA agents are curious what the item is. Now, my go-to, because people are just trying to get through security as fast as possible, TSA are trying to identify the item as quickly as possible, I just say it's a mascot head. 90-something% of the time, they look at it, they get it, and then I just am on my way. But I finally meet a boss in the sense that I'm going through this very empty airport and I'm the only person in this security line. So there's not a lot going on for TSA agents this day. So I do my usual routine, empty my pockets, take off my shoes, put them all on the trays. I've got my green bag with my fursuit head on, and I put that in a tray as well. And everything's going fine. And then the agent looks at the green bag, asks me, "What is that?" So I say it confidently, "It's a mascot head." Now, 90% of the time, this is where the conversation ends. But remember, there is no one around, and the TSA agent is curious. So he goes, "What's it a mascot for?" And it's fairly early in the day. My social skills are not completely warm up, so my brain is literally in dial-up mode. So I just go, company? Because it's been years since I've been asked this follow-up. So the TSA agent gives me this "I'm not buying your story" kind of look, which is fair enough. And because I used to be a mascot, I try and convince him based on those experiences. I say, "I used to do sports stuff," and he kind of slightly buys it. And then before any more words are exchanged, I go into the body scanner, which is a standard at every airport. And as I'm standing in the body scanner, I hear him say to himself, "Pretty sure that's a furry head." So I got freaking roasted by TSA. They know who we are. They know that furries exist. And I just freaking got called out by airport security for being one. My story was not bought. And then the worst part is, once I got through the body scanner, I had to wait as all of the TSA agents ran my head through a secondary scanner 2 or 3 times, inspected my fursuit head, had a nice chuckle amongst themselves, and that was the entertainment for the morning because literally nothing else was happening. So this whole experience kind of left me shocked because I have never heard someone from TSA use the word furry before. I was very surprised, a little embarrassed, but it was also pretty funny. So that's why I tweeted out about the experience, and then I got on my flight to Megaplex, got to the con, was chilling for a while, then looked at my phone and realized it had blown up. The tweet had blown up. So a lot of people had seen my airport story. Now I'm a big boy, I can handle people roasting me, and I did subject myself to it by tweeting it out. But there were a lot of comments about my TSA form, people saying I didn't do it right, or I should just say I'm a furry. I just want to say real quick, my mission when I go through airport security is to keep the conversation as brief as possible. If somebody asks, "What is this?" and I say, "It's my fursuit head," then you have to explain what a fursuit is, what furries are. I'm just trying to get to my flight, okay? So y'all might have a different method, but for me, it's worked. Now, I know for a fact I've given this answer I'm a mascot before. And I've gotten these looks from agents who don't believe me. But it doesn't matter because I'm already through the line and then I can go to my next thing. But I did not expect an agent to call me out, and the result was pretty funny. So I get to the convention, I see the tweets blown up, and let's just look at some of the ways people have roasted me. One of my friends responded with, TSA just hit you with this. We know. Now I'll tell you this from experience. Flying with a fursuit head 5 or 6 years ago, my fursuit head got pulled out of the bag many more times than it does today. And even at this experience, they didn't even pull my head out of the bag. They just kind of looked in the green bag, chuckled to each other, looked inside, put it through the scanner again. So I think at some point there was a memo put out amongst TSA officials saying, hey, these are furries. These are furry heads. This is what to watch out for. They were just foam costumes that they put on their head because they like to be animals. I don't know if they actually said that, but at some point they stopped taking our heads out, so I guess they know. I just didn't realize they had the knowledge of us to call us out about it. And also the fandom's grown a bunch over the years, so there's that too. Freelance mascot, like a mercenary. And yeah, I think I said the right thing. I just had to follow up with, what team is it for? Oh, I don't have a team. And I think that's the biggest power move you can do. Just say it confidently, I don't have a team. And then stare at them and then walk through. We've got an ex-TSA agent saying that they know who we are. For me, I guess it's another civilization making contact with us, because there is this mutual knowledge that we exist, but finally, the word furry has been uttered by a TSA agent, and they know too much about our culture and our methods. Whenever TSA asks, I look them dead in the eyes and go, $2,000 fursuit of my persona that I used to escape reality. See, that is a way of doing it. You can just own the furriness. I just go for efficiency, mascot head, 3 syllables. Only have ever been asked follow-up questions twice. Oh, just own it, put on the head, and give them a pose. Yeah, I could do that, but there's also like no one around. So it's literally me in this room with a bunch of government employees wearing a fursuit head. I could, but I'm not going to the airport to be a furry. I'm going to the airport to travel to hang out with furries. Every time I go through San Jose airport security, they say, oh, is the furry come back again? That's the thing. Some places where there is a lot of furry traffic, they know the whole deal. So places like San Jose, Chicago, Pittsburgh, they were much more aware of us. I was going through a small regional airport and yet was very surprised when they knew who we were. Zuka, shout out to Zuka. Zuka wished they worked somewhere that has more furries. See, furries are on the inside. We know everything. What if the TSA worker was a furry? Unlikely, but hey, it's possible. Then we got pictures of furries who work at an airport. That's nuts. See, furries are in every part of society. We've infiltrated everywhere. We are the Illuminati, right? Somebody said doubt. Look at all the replies about furries in every level of the airport and society. It's not even that outlandish of a story. I was just not a very good liar, and TSA called me out for it. But if somebody is doubting if the story is real or not, that means it's at least a good story, so I'll take it. So typically that's the end of the story. But I did the con, had a fun time, and then I came back, and then I saw my friend retweet a screenshot of the tweet that got pretty much as many interactions. And it's by this account, and no shade to the account, they run a funny Twitter account, but it's just a compilation of funny furry tweets. The one thing though is they say all posts will be censored. Well, take a look at how they censored my post. I mean, there is no way telling that this was written by Hyena, right? It's almost like every single post on their account you could tell because they didn't get rid of the profile picture, which is, in a lot of cases, very recognizable. So I've already been roasted by my own friends, okay, fine, and people that have some proximity to me. Now I get a second go of being roasted, so it's basically the subtweet version. Except not really a subtweet because you could totally tell who it is, so. But let's look at some of the roasts here, and oh gosh, let's see what happens. A mascot head. Doubt. Yeah, that's how you do the doubt meme. I have now learned that TSA knows all about us, and the reason why they always give this not completely convinced look is because they know. Most of them cannot be bothered calling me out, and that's why saying mascot head is still the TSA speedrun because you put your fursuit head in the tray, you say mascot head, you both acknowledge the lie, and then you move on. As an ex-TSO, I would certainly call you out, Jobs Boy. Well, in 20 plus cons, I've only ever been called out once, so you would be the second, calling out the account. Gee, I wonder who that is. Exactly, Hunt. Like, it is so hard to tell who tweeted this. Like, just tag me next time so I can get some followers from the tweet or something. Either censor everything or just freaking tag me. 0 power level by trying to hide it, TBH. Yeah, I guess I'm a 0 power level furry. I guess I have no power because I just wanted to get through a line quickly. And once again, it's not hiding, it's just lying with the mutual acknowledgement that I'm lying so I can get on with my day. Okay? I don't hide the freaking fact I'm a furry, okay?
Notices your bulge! Oh whoa, what's this?
Hiding and not enthusiastically volunteering are two different things. We point and we laugh. That's fair. That's not. Actually, the roast comments aren't so bad. They're actually pretty funny. Could have said you were just a furry. TSA probably sees 50 of those things on a daily basis, not in the region that I was flying out of. Used to have a certain dragon sticker in my hard hat as an old job. I convinced everyone within a year that it's a hockey team. Then a new guy joined and asked me right away in the first day, is that a bad dragon sticker? So here's the thing. If you want to be low-key about your furriness, don't go with something that's too NSFW because people know things and they will call you out for being a furry, no matter how good what you tell people are. Now here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with being low-key about being a furry, just as there's nothing wrong with owning your furriness. Now obviously, owning your furriness, owning who you are and what you like, and maybe a lifestyle that's very important to you is something that might be great for someone's happiness, but once again, it's different for different people. Some places are more accepting of people who have weird, quirky interests and are queer, and other places don't. And it's just very important to do the things that are comfortable for you. Okay, that's very, very important. And I just think, in general, there's no script as to how you broach the subject of your furriness in public. And if you're more comfortable with just keeping it low-key and selling the white lie that you're a mascot, then go for it. Stop being such a bitch. Just say you're a furry. You want the popularity on social media, but you can't face it IRL. Shaking my head. Shame. I just don't subscribe to the notion that we have to tell every Uber driver and every service worker what we're getting up to. Sometimes we just want to get on with our day and just have a chill time. And this has always worked for me. It takes me 20 seconds. I just don't care. You know where I own my furriness? When I go at public suiting. Because then I'm not interacting with people who are doing a job. I'm interacting with the public who is there to have a nice time and might be entertained by us. I don't know, there's just a ton of projection with people like this. Now, please don't go and respond to anyone that was roasting me, okay? Firstly, like a week's passed, and secondly, it just reflects poorly on me. I have intentionally obscured names because that's what you should do. And profile pictures too, because apparently it's very hard to do that. I think the most cringe thing about this thread is that somebody's unironically using the word popufur in 2022. Like, haven't we decided as a community that this word isn't really in vogue anymore? It's from a different era, okay? Can we drop that word? I mean, y'all can use it, but this is how I'm going to go through TSA next time.
Greetings and good morning, TSA officers. I am Nos Hyena, internet personality and furry YouTuber, and this is my head. I am not a mascot. I am a furry and I own it. I own who I am. Look at my followers. I am big on social media. I am owning my furriness. I am wearing my bodysuit through Transport Security Administration security because I own who I am and I am furry 24/7 everywhere. Oh, what's this? No, it's not a mascot head. This is my fursuit head. Oh, you don't know what a fursuit head is? Why am I being secondary screen?
You should have OO'd and pounced on the TSA offer and held his snuggly and cuddly buddy for ransom. Bruh. That is highly inappropriate on so many levels. Knuckle. These furries in the replies, ISTG, SMH, mid. L plus ratio. Also, shout out to all of the fun, joking comments as well in both threads. I'm glad we can laugh at ourselves at Furry, and for the most part, not take social media too seriously. For the most part. Let's just move on with it. As James Bay says, you should let it go. Just let it be. Why don't you do you? And I'll do me. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like James Bay says, just let it go.
I am owning my furriness. You see how entertaining that is? Just freaking go through. Go through and just get on with your day. There's really no purpose of going through TSA except to just get through TSA as quickly as possible. If you want to make friends with people in the TSA line, by all means,